When thinking about ramen, it's only natural to think of combat. A versatile dish known for coming in extreme sizes inevitably gives rise to competition when it comes to both creation and consumption. Culinary rivalries are born, burn brightly, and die every day over bowls of salty stock and wavy noodles. To honor the triumphant and remember the fallen, I give you the 5 greatest conflicts in the history of Japan's most famous comfort food. 5. Koizumi vs. Kenta. Ms. Koizumi loves ramen noodles. Episode 9. Kenta trains in privacy, working toward the day he will be able to finish an entire bowl of Butayaru ramen by himself so he will no longer be ridiculed by his friends. Unfortunately, he sits next to Koizumi who, although only slightly larger than Kenta, orders a mega portion of his ramen. One mid-slurp look of challenge from Koizumi and Kenta knew he had to finish before her to protect his pride. Although lacking the extremes of the other items on the list, this competition is remarkable as a wordless duel arising from mutual understanding and its devastating finish as Kenta is humiliated when Koizumi mercilessly orders ice cream after the duel to prove she still has room to spare. Sanji vs. Wanzo. One Piece. Episodes 258 to 260. Aboard the sea train The Puffing Tom, Sanji faced off against one of the most bizarre opponents in the history of One Piece, which is in itself a considerable achievement. To buy time for his friends to catch up to Nico Robin, Sanji went one-on-one with Wanzo, CP9's cook who specializes in ramen. Although not a particularly strong foe, Wanzo's ramen kenpo forced Sanji to bring his expert knife work into combat for the first and only time, countering the noodle attacks coming from Wanzo's nose by slicing them into bite-sized portions. Sanji also uses a new ultimate technique he'd been developing as his final attack, one which changes Wanzo forever. 3. Ninja Champion Eating Contest. Naruto Shippuden. Episode 95. The Ninja Champion Eating Contest was a legendary, no-holds-barred competition between some of the greatest eaters in Konoha. A challenge between 6 ninja to see who could consume the most bowls of Ichiraku ramen in 30 minutes. Shino, Kiba, and Sai each dropped out before reaching the time limit. The well-known ramen lover Naruto was narrowly beaten out by his team leader Yamato 31-30, but Hinata came out in the lead with an amazing 46 bowls, winning the competition and crowned the legendary queen of gluttony. Over a decade later, Hinata's record is yet to be matched despite the dedicated efforts of the father-daughter team Choji and Chocho. 2. Megumi Tadokoro vs. Ryukuro Kiba. Food Wars. The Second Plate. Episode 2. One of the most heated battles in Food Wars history, a battle of the soups in the Totsuki Autumn Elections quarterfinals between Megumi Tadokoro and Ryukuro Kiba with the ramen theme. Each brings a unique creative flair to the ramen with a different seafood resulting in a standoff between scallops. Profiles and umami are so evenly matched we're left with a cliffhanger of the two locked in combat before the winner is declared in the next episode and the victor is forced to recognize the skill of the loser. Miki's entire life, ramen fighter Miki, no human on the face of this earth is more familiar with doing battle in the name of ramen than Miki Onomaru. She engages in life-or-death combat daily to ensure her family's ramen is delivered safely to the hungry masses, battling man, animal, and nature itself. Although she rarely delivers the ramen on time or in one piece, she's invincible in battle and defends ramen's place in the culinary hierarchy against rivals such as bread and its champion from the nearby bakery, Megumi Kanazuki. To Miki, ramen doesn't represent a battle over a single dish but a lifelong war in which she is the ultimate fighter. Whether it's eating, cooking, or defending the idea of ramen itself, it's not a stretch to say this dish has one of the bloodiest histories among all the world's soups. It's up to each of us to decide whether ramen is delicious enough to justify the human cost, but we must recognize those who sacrifice so much in its name. What is your favorite ramen battle? Who is the greatest ramen champion? Let us know in the comments below. Peter Fabian is features and reviews editor for Crunchyroll, author of monthly Mangaka Spotlight, writer for Anime Academy, and contributor at Anime Feminist. You can follow him on Twitter at Peter Fabian.